Smoke, baby, is all of it, too. So,
yes.
How should we feel about Scottie Pippen's comments towards Phil Jackson?
One, I think we need to keep it in context. He's in full promotion mode right now.
Fair.
So when you're in full promotion mode, all that means is you're just going to exaggerate. You may feel these things to the core, but there's going to be an exaggeration to whatever's coming out of Scottie Pippen right now in this cycle, as they would call it, as you're doing your run in promotion of your product. Digits, bourbon. Yeah, it sounds like he done took a few of the free swag to the dome. Scotty, holla at your boy, man. Let's hydrate together so I can get some of this out of me as well. Now, let me tell you about these same comments. And I saw this coming from Scottie Pippen. And I actually feel for Scottie Pippen. If you want to ask me where I side, not in this conversation in particular, but just in general, I'll side with Scottie Pippen. Let me tell you why I saw this coming. Because Scottie Pippen was a part of the fraternity. A fraternity that has a code. We both know the code, to the point where you just told me a story about a teammate that stole something and didn't tell me his name, because you know the code. You wouldn't let all America know. Now, off mic, you'll probably tell me or text me, but they don't know, because you're protecting the code. Scottie Pippen is sitting there watching Michael Jordan do a documentary about us, but it became about you. When you couldn't be you without me. I'm going to say that again, damn it. No, I ain't, because that was tough. No, but, hey, Kendrick Lamar wrote that one. So the point is, Scottie Pippen saying, okay, last dance. It's we time. Because, boy, MJ wasn't nothing without me, right? I mean, he was MJ, but he needed me. And then that whole thing became not only about MJ, but shots at Scottie, Mr. 1.8. Quitting on his team. Why is that getting highlighted, exaggerated? Okay, so now we got some meat in this gumbo. Now we need some seafood. We need some of that seafood, some of that crab up in there. And then all of a sudden, I'm gonna say this with balance. Scottie Pippen going through his divorce. I'm gonna tell you what I learned from Scottie Pippen and witnessing that divorce. That attention is currency. And he learned that the hard way. From his ex-wife, now having his name, but not playing with his team anymore, and watching how that all has unfolded. Scottie Pippen has been sitting there preserving the code of not only the fraternity, but the sanctity of marriage, even in divorce, still the family name. And boy, I think Scottie took one of them digits to the head and said, you know what? Enough is enough. Why am I protecting things that no one else is protecting? Now, let me get a little specific with these Phil Jackson comments. The first layer I want to talk about is, I think this started because of Tony Kukoc. Simple as that. NBA was going global. They found a European sensation. He comes over here. He's making more money than Scottie Pippen. He even made more money than Michael Jordan one year. And then them dudes looking around saying, man, not noticing the preferential treatment was bigger than them, not racially motivated, just the fact that these are the circumstances. So I think they took that and misconstrued it as racism. All that said, I got to pass the baton to my co-host over here, but watch this gumbo we gonna cook up as we layer this one out.
Ooh, we going places. If y'all just tuned in, you would be a fool to change the channel.
Say it.
Let me get my tie straight for this.
You going there?
I'm going there.
Let's go.
Scottie Pippen may not have been wrong about Phil Jackson being racist, but he used the wrong evidence.
Oh.
So I'm sure you've had this conversation before. I've had this conversation with a female friend of mine, and they'd be like, yeah, I was talking to this guy last night, and he was such a creep. In defense, I'm like, what did he do? Did he elongate the hug too much? What did he do? And they're like, he asked for my number. What else did he do? I mean, he just asked for my number. That's what made him a creep. Scottie Pippen may not have been wrong about Phil Jackson being racist, but he used the wrong evidence. The evidence Scottie Pippen used was that Phil Jackson called for Tony Kukoc to take the final shot, game 3 of a series in which you're already down 2-0. Well, Scottie Pippen, with 5.5 seconds left, you took a shot, it went off the top of the backboard. Patrick Ewing goes down, hits a shot, now it's a tied game. Phil Jackson, he ain't gonna call a shot for you. You just took one, hit the top of the backboard.
Bang.
He calling it for Kukoc. That has nothing to do with racism. He just called the shot for the better player, and the better player in that moment made the better shot. Now, the evidence Scottie Pippen could have used was a 1999 quote from his head coach, Phil Jackson, the year after the team had now gone their separate ways, when Phil Jackson says, I don't mean to say that as a snide remark toward a certain population in our society, but they have a limitation of their attention span. A lot of it probably due to too much going in their ears and coming out of their being. Too much rap music going into their ears and coming out of their being. Now, that's a little eyebrow raising. Scottie Pippen, if you were going to use evidence, you probably should have used the evidence from 2005 when Phil Jackson, in regards to the NBA dress code, says the players have been dressing in prison garb for the last 5 or 6 years. All the stuff that goes on, it's like gangster thuggery stuff. It's time. It's been time to do that as far as instilling an NBA dress code. Now, the players at hand, obviously, he was talking about was Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was a very famous player who started the new changing of the dress code. Scottie Pippen, I'm not saying that you're wrong in calling Phil Jackson racist. I'm also not saying that you're right. All I'm saying is this. You used the wrong evidence. If you was gonna make a claim, that is the evidence you should have used. Not saying that he chose Tony Kukoc to take the last shot, because Tony Kukoc made the last shot.
Interesting. Where's the posse quote in there? Remember you don't remember that one? Oh, Phil Jackson said, yeah, what was it, LeBron and his posse?
Phil Jackson got some quotes now.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm not going to defend Phil Jackson.
What you going to do?
But I am going to defend how we misconstrue sometimes what's racial and what's racist. And
thank you. Go there.
You want to go there?
I'm with you.
Well, let's go call Dan Patrick and bring him up here, because Dan Patrick went there first. He heard Scottie Pippen say something that was racial. And then Scottie, oh, why'd you jump on that trampoline and go all the way to racist? And you know what? Because I deal with this all the time, and thankfully, I've been able to distill this ever since junior high school. Black person comes up to me, Marcellus, you're corny. Now, where I'm from, I am corny. Probably in mainstream America, I'm still corny. I laugh 3 times a minute. Growing up, that was a problem. Oh, Marcellus always laughing at stuff, making light of stuff. He's so lighthearted, he's corny. I like being corny, actually, because in my world growing up, the alternative was gangster, was thuggery and all that stuff. So I was like, nah, I'm going to laugh at all this trivial stuff. And the only thing that's really going to hit me is something that really hits me. So I'm corny. Black person called me corny all day, every day, growing up. Fine. They were just hating. White person at Columbia come up to me, Marcel's corny. Wait a minute, why he corny? Because, man, you racist. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Y'all ain't been with me all this time. All these black people been calling me corny, and it wasn't racist. It wasn't even racial. And that situation at Columbia wasn't even racial either. But that's how it gets misconstrued so many times. My daddy taught me, like, he said, you ain't got to squint for it, bruh. He's like, when it's racist, it is overt. It can come in subliminal ways. I understand that. But it's not you trying to dig and find and be meticulous with it, because it's going to come and glow right at you.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen, again, we've talked about this a lot on the show. He had a logical fallacy. Scottie Pippen's logical fallacy, or the error in his logic, to break that down a little simpler, was this. Okay, Michael Jordan is no longer on the team. He out there playing baseball. I'm on the team. I'm supposed to be the guy. I'm the best player on the team. I'm supposed to be the guy. So really, I should get the last shot. If a white guy ends up getting the last shot, and the only reason he's getting the last shot, it can't be because he's better than me. So it has to be because he's white. Logical fallacy. Scottie Pippen, your last shot just went off top of the backboard. It is not because he's white. It's because in that moment, Phil Jackson, Hall of Fame head coach, maybe the greatest head coach of all time basketball-wise, said, I'm going to go with the guy who I trust to make the shot, and he made the shot. Now, Sel hit the nail on the head, because things can be racially ignorant, things can be racially insensitive, or things cannot be racist at all. But we just categorize it as like, that had to do with race, made me feel the wrong way. Racist. Example, Sel. If a dude preferred a black woman to a white woman, if a white dude preferred a white woman to a black woman, whatever the case may be, you prefer this type of woman? Racist. No, it's not racist at all. Right? We just jump to categorize things as racist. Even if Phil Jackson would have had Kukoc take the last shot because Kukoc was white, that still wouldn't have been racist.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
that still wouldn't have been racist in that moment. So I think that Scottie Pippen, he shouldn't have drank the Kool-Aid, if you will. Like, he was tiptoeing around something. He got asked a question that, even had he really thought about it, I don't know that yes would have been his answer. At least not with that train of thought, and at least not with that logic.
Well, you got to understand, let's go circle back full boomerang, because Scottie Pippen has learned from Michael Jordan, from his ex-wife, that attention is the new currency, and it's in inflation right now. So it's getting value more so than ever. And it doesn't have to have the premise and the substance that it once used to have. Like, it used to be a time where people would say, mind your own business. And that was currency. Those who stayed focused in the narrow lane and just ran around the track staying in their lane were actually rewarded. But now you're taught that it's rewarding to get out of your lane, at least step on it, clout chase, pull at others, take shot at others, and see where the collateral damage allows you to fail forward. So Scottie Pippen gets here. He's already seen people, the